What's going on, Dan K Show fans? A week of the postseason is behind us. And oh boy, someone's winning by one pick, and I have not heard the end of it. You would think that he created the cure for everything. It's Mr. Lucas Jones, who we'll have to talk about. But before that, we got to roll that cool intro. Dan K Show coming at you, Nationals version. What's going on, hockey fans? Time to get into Dan K's three things. And thing number one is airing my grievances. All right. We all know, if we followed along with the Dan K Show picks, that Dan K is 5 victories to his 1 loss overall. And it's because we pick come Nationals time. That's when the points matter. And Lucas is talking conspiracies. We'll talk about that in just a bit. He is leading by 1 right now, 17-16 in the picks. Thing number 2, what an opening week to the postseason. I mean, playoff time brings out the best in everyone, and it brought out the best of the best, baby. We've got 6 tickets punched to Nationals in the Elite. We got a handful punched in the Premier, and more to come in both levels. The NCDC postseason getting underway. Oh, baby, it's playoff time. Thing number 3. What's my favorite thing about the postseason? Playoff chirps, baby. The playoff chirps are back, and Dan K heard it in bunches from all over. We got to get into it all, and the only way to talk about it all, the only way to talk about the game of hockey, the only way to really do the USPHL justice here today or any day is with my right-hand man, my consigliere, mon Michel, mon frère from another mare, the peanut butter to my jelly. What's up, Lucas?
Dan, it was a wild week, number 1 in the USPHL Nationals at the Premier and Elite level. Yes, I beat you by 1 point in the Premier. Believe I also swept the Elite picks in this first round. And considering I also came out of the initial round of picks last year ahead, I'm starting to think there's a little bit of conspiracy to suppress my picking numbers. But you know what? That's okay. We put it all behind us. I'm going to take this energy, these vibes, and I'm going to roll these vibes into Nationals, because this year I got a really good feeling about my picks as they're going to come out.
See this number? This year, I go Michael Jordan on you. I'm going MJ. I'm going for the 6 Pete. It's not the 6 Pete. It wouldn't be 6 in a row, but it's just like Michael Jordan. 3 break, 3 for Dan K in terms of picking championships. Small break, tiny break, but 3 and 3. The traces. But it's going to be, man, it's going to be so fun. And you really did dominate those Elite picks, Lucas. You did a great job. You swept away. You look at this Elite national title setup that is taking place right now, what we're going to see down in Hampton Roads. Richmond punches their ticket. The Northern Cyclones punch their ticket. The Tampa Bay Juniors punch a ticket. The Charleston Colonials punch a ticket. The Charlotte Rush. And Lucas, there's one more that I'm blanking on, the Rockets Hockey Club. And you look at these 6 teams. I mean, the Charleston Colonials Elite. I got tagged by every single player on Instagram, and it was stinking awesome. I absolutely love it. I tell these guys to take it personal all the time, Michael Jordan style, right? Like, if we pick against you, that should be taken personally. That should be the reaction. You got to want to win. Mm-hmm. I always say I hate losing more than I like winning. And Lucas has seen many a PlayStation 4 controllers that would agree with that statement.
Yep.
And it's just, you can't accept it. And these guys didn't accept it. They went out. They heard us talk up their opponent. They heard us talk about, we never said they couldn't win, but we didn't say they were going to win. And they went out and they answered to that. And, I mean, kudos to the Charleston Colonials Elite. What a squad, what a season they've put together. 2 years in a row. They've only existed for 2 years. 2 years in a row they go to Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, what a job by the Colonials. They came in against this Florida Eels team, this extremely competitive, this extremely competent and skilled Florida Eels team, and they won, Dan. And I'm even more impressed by the fact that it wasn't a dominating win either. These were close games. The first game, a win in overtime, 5-4. The second game, a shutout win, 2-0. You're talking about a goal differential of +3. That is not a dominating number by any means. But the fact that they can win close games, the fact that they can hold on tight against teams of the caliber of the Florida Eels bodes very well for them as they head towards nationals.
Yeah, and you look at this Rockets hockey club squad. They make it on the nationals. They win their division. They've done it all this year. Coach Wags, this is Lucas. I'm gonna remind you. You did say this team was going to go to the national title. So are you telling the Charleston Colonials and Charlotte Rush and Tampa Bay Juniors, all your squads, that they're just not going to make it? Only 2 teams can go, so that you're bumping some other squads.
Well, Dan, they do call me Mr. Elite. I am the guy who knows the most about the elite division. It's been said many times by many people, I'm sure.
I know a lot of names they call you. None of them are Mr. Elite. I'll tell you that much.
I will tell you this. My prediction in the beginning of the year are way too early predictions. Yours came true. You picked a huge win streak for the Charlotte Rush, and when I called you out on it, you said, you know what? I'm picking a bigger win streak. That came true. I said the New Jersey Rockets, the Rockets Hockey Club, were going to be involved in the championship game, and then you called me out on it, and I said, you know what? They're winning the championship. I still hold true to that. I think there has been a lot of shifting in the elite division since that August, I believe, when we made those predictions. A lot of players added. The landscape has certainly changed quite a bit. I think my prediction will stand strong, but I think it will be a very interesting path to championship game for whichever team besides the Rockets Hockey Club makes it there.
We remind you, Monday, Dan's got to look at his calendar real quick. March 15th, Monday, March 15th, we will be releasing our Dan K Show Bracket Challenge. Join up. You'll see the link posted on our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on dankshow.com. You can find that link. You can go to it. You pick if you beat Lucas and Dan K. If you win the bracket challenge, it's going to be a pretty spectacular prize. Some saying the best of. No, it's not money. It's, I thought that was. I did not have any money left in the budget. I have spent everything to make this season happen. We have been cut by the strings. So Dan K has had to really shell it out of the wallet this year to make this work for the Dan K Show because we love you, the players. So I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. So no, we will not be paying you monetarily if you win. I'm out of money. I've got nothing left. My wallet's empty. But what I will tell you is it's going to be awesome. And what's even more awesome, Lucas, we still got to talk Premier and NCDC playoffs. We're going to come back with a Premier conversation about a little round robin action up in the mountains in the Rockies, a little bit of a Midwest West battle royale, and hockey supreme out in the Midwest East.
Head to EliteJRProfiles.com to find the best way to give your student athlete the tools and connections needed to reach their highest goals in both sports and academics.
All right, hockey fans, we are ready to get into the Premier now. You're going to see our picks drop. Lucas, Friday on Instagram, are we going to drop these picks for this week? Thursday? I don't know when we're dropping.
They are going to drop Friday morning. You know, we thought that they would hit pretty hard across the USPHL, but we didn't think they would hit quite as hard as they did. We got we got a lot of chirps on those picks. Dan, we did over 100,000 impressions on just those picks alone across all our social media platforms. The people chirped us. The people watched. We had our audio podcast was off the charts. The video episodes are off the charts. The people love it when we put our fake money where our real mouths are and put our picks on paper. I'm excited to do it again this week, and then very excited to play in this bracket challenge. We'll see if anyone in the USPHL can beat Mr. Elite and Mr. Dan K.
And Lucas, you talk about our closest competition who absolutely just ripped off the idea and had their own bracket challenge. The impression rate of just our picks on Instagram and on social media, more than anybody's impression rates for the entire year on every post combined. So that talks about a little bit about the most watched show in junior hockey yet again. Often imitated, never duplicated. I'd love a little bit of royalty for some of our ideas. We keep moving, though. We jump in to what's going to be a really interesting playoff, the USPHL's Mountain Division. 4 teams, round robin, 1 champ. You're going to have the Ogden Mustangs, the Utah Outliers, and the Northern Colorado Eagles. Number 1, Lucas, the team that comes out of this is going to be heavily battle tested for the Nationals. I mean, this is exactly what they're going to see come Nationals time. They're going to get to play it out. Nobody else is getting that type of experience with the series play. So you get that positive. And also, I mean, this is an absolute coin flip. You can pick any team in this Mountain Division and come out of it feeling pretty confident you're going to be ready.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the most beefed up divisions in the USPHL, and this is their first year with the league too, so quite a statement here. And, making a bit of a statement by their format's a little different. That's what this year of all years has dictated. So here we are with a little appetizer, an aperitif of the round robin before we get to the main course. I love all these teams that are involved this year. We've talked about the Northern Colorado Eagles and their offensive ability. We've talked about the Pueblo Bulls and the way that they can just absolutely show up and bury a team. These Utah Outliers, these Ogden Mustangs, they have been not just a threat all year, but a threat that has been increasing in their threatedness, in their threatability. Their threat rating has gone through the roof as the team has melded together, as they've gotten, as they've added some guys, they've increased that sort of team presence, and they have really shown up here. This is a division where you could legitimately throw a dart at a dartboard, and any team that dart landed on, you'd go, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you think about it this year. Think about Dan K, right? I started the year saying that Pueblo was the squad. Then after a couple of weeks, I went loco for noco. Then I was looking at Ogden. I said, everyone better watch out for Ogden. This team will run you through the gosh darn wall here. And Utah started showing up the thread. And I said, this outlier team might be the outlier in this group. They might come out and be the winner of this thing. And then Provo finishes the year by winning a zillion games in a row. So this has been just a flat out coin flip, like we said. And anybody can win it. I want to put us both on the spot right now. Lucas, because I'm so generous and because you are leading by 1, I'll give you the first stab at it and let you pick who you think is going to come out of the Mountain Division.
Well, this is a tough one. This is something where all season long we've sort of looked at these rosters, and I got to be honest, looking back at the regular season stats, this is a division where, yes, you've got a ranking system based on points. Of course you do. But sort of like how I said with Charlotte Rush and Hampton Roads, there are no true underdogs here. And with the round robin format, and with the fact that these teams have been beating up on each other, taking turns beating up on each other all season long, I don't think there is a clear favorite here. I think 2 teams that I narrow it down between. I think your two favorites are the Ogden Mustangs and the Pueblo Bulls. I think these are your 2 squads right now who are leading the charge. Ogden's got that great goal differential. I've been a huge fan of Pueblo all year. I think that Pueblo's offense is one of the most interesting stories that have come out of the mountain. And when it shows up, it is absolutely huge. I think Pueblo comes out of this one. I think as we start the year, we end the year. I know Pueblo's had a bit of a slide towards the end. They were 3-5-1-1 in their last 10 before the playoffs. But man, I feel good about the Bulls.
I like that pick. I narrow it down to NoCo and Ogden and Pueblo and Utah. I think it's going to be one of the 4 that come out of this division. I think 100%. I think mathematically speaking, one of them will come out of this and go to nationals. I mean, it adds up.
Yeah.
The big thing I look at when I'm talking playoff time is goaltender, and who's going to be the name that steps up. And all year it's been Nicholas Sampson, Brennan McFarland, Case Canchis, Brian Lochner, Fry Fogel, the whole crew in Northern Colorado. And they've stepped up when they've needed to. When the games have gotten bigger, they have shown up. Ogden, though, I mean, over a 3-day period can really wear you down. They are physical. They are strong along the boards. They play the game of hockey at both ends. Michael Heller's a great defenseman. Cade Herrera is a big-time left winger. Jake Murr, man, Jake the Snake. Lucas Washko washing things up from behind the net. They're getting pucks in front. And Troha. Troha has been the netminder in this division. You need goaltending to get through a pool play atmosphere. That's why I give the slightest of edge to Ogden, and I go with the Mustangs to win this one. You know why? Because they were the last of the 5 teams for me to say might win this division, and I've been wrong in this division. It feels like the Midwest West, so I'm going against all of my gut feelings all year long and saying I go with the netminder. I go with Domagoj Troha to get things done. And please, Mr. Troha, scream at me if I butchered your name.
I love it. I mean, this is a toss-up division. These are games that we're going to be glued to Hockey TV watching. As much as we can. We will be working a little bit this weekend, so it'll have to be maybe a phone up in the broadcast booth to be sure. But these are going to be some fun games to have on the TV.
We will be working this weekend, and that lets us go to you. We tell you we're going to Elmira. We're going to head up to Elmira, New York, the Big Apple, they call Elmira, New York. And we're going to head on up to Elmira. The junior enforcers who have been awesome enough to bring us in all season long. We're going to the playoffs, baby. Lucas, we made it to the playoffs. We'll see if we advance. But we're going up to Elmira, Philadelphia Hockey Club, Elmira Junior Enforcers. This is going to be the battle of all battles. We've watched both teams blow each other out. We've watched both teams play overtime battles. We've watched both teams score high, score low. Defenses won a few. Netminding's won a few. Goal scoring's won a few. Anybody's ball game. Anything can happen. In Elmira, someone will go home and their season will come to a close, and the other will have a Dan K show call and a star of the game hat wearer at the end of that series.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. We'll give you plenty of details on those start times. We'll also have those going up Friday morning because that first game is going to be Friday night at 7, Saturday at 7, and then Sunday, if necessary, is going to be 4 o'clock. But we'll make sure to blast those out on social media just before puck drop.
I have already booked the hotel for Sunday because that, if necessary, is going to be necessary. That thing is going to be a battle royale down to the finish line. I cannot wait. Lucas, one last chat here in the premiere before we move on. I want to talk Midwest West. Again, folks can see our picks on Instagram. We'll post those. I am then going to go live on Instagram Friday afternoon to talk through some of the postseason. We'll be trying to use Instagram Live all weekend long to follow along with the content. Since we'll be together, we're back in our bubble. The Dan K Show Bubble Edition, Lucas. We're back in the bubble yet again. There's going to be a lot of Tiger Woods played. We got to finish our Ryder Cup. What is it, 5-2 in the Ryder Cup right now? Is it the point score?
Yeah, it's not looking good for Lucas right now. And I do want to stress that not looking good does mean I only shot 27 under par instead of 29.
We've been playing a little Rory McIlroy golf because Dan K only plays golf games that are 6 years or older. I do not do the new stuff, apparently. And we had a hole where Lucas Albatross on a par 5 in a match play tourney. Dan K, drop on top Albatross. That's the level of golf we're at right now. We're Albatross, and much better than being on a real course and putting up an 8. But we look at the Midwest West, Lucas, 1v4, 2v3, chalk. All right. The Steele County Blades almost came through for you. They almost took the Blue Hawks out in OT.
Yes, they did.
Very close, but we have 1v4, Wisconsin Rapids hosting the Minnesota Blue Hawks, their kryptonite. And then 2v3, Moose v. Havoc. First, let's start with the River Kings Blue Ox series, Lucas. What do you like about this series? What do you see coming into this one?
Well, I just see defense being the difference maker. I know both of these squads can score. I know that both of these squads are putting up huge point totals every week. Both of these teams over 200 goals. But I look at that differential, Dan. I look at that insane defense on the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. And I look at a Blue Ox defense that has sometimes struggled against giving up goals in bunches. We get to this point of the season, we can talk about these teams in a pretty honest way. We've seen quite a bit of them so far in the year, and I just think this River Kings defense has got this thing on lockdown. I will give my caveat. I love my caveats, especially when I lean towards that chalk pick that I know you make fun of me for.
Yeah, I don't eat fish eggs, so I don't like caveat very much. Not a big caveat eater.
Not a caveat guy.
Nah, I don't really like it.
You should try the farm raised caveat. It's much more ethical.
I like it.
So I think the thing with the River Kings, though, Dan, is they have to stay out of the box. And I know that's a cliche, and I try not to rely on those. But with a team that is as good on the offensive side as the Blue Ox are, it puts more pressure on you to be down a goal. The River Kings, they want to stay ahead. They want to play their game. If they get behind and they start losing that momentum, a team like the Blue Ox will 100% bury you. They'll throw bodies at you all day until you are worn down and ground down into dust. So I think this is going to be a battle of the defenses. Whichever team is the best defense is the one that's going to come out on top.
Who do you pick? You want to pick on here? Or are you gonna?
I like the River Kings here. I mean, like I said, I know it's the boring pick to go 1/4. I just look at that defense, a team that's played 44 games and has given up 84 goals.
Yeah,
that's a mountain. That's Everest.
And I look at this thing, and Castelletti's going to be a big role player here for the Minnesota Blue Ox. Everything about this Blue Ox team is playoff ready, right? You have the net minding, you play defense, you're physical. Coach Witta knows how to put a winner together. Coach Boudreau knows how to put a winner together for sure. The whole Boudreau family just wins at the game of hockey on and off the ice. And I look at Wisconsin. This is the classic trip up for the River Kings. This is the classic in your head moment. This Blue Ox team is always tough for the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. The defense wasn't wholly there last round for Wisconsin. There were some blips in the radar, some oversights, and this has to be a 60-minute affair to win this series for either side. There is no let-ups. It's going to be the team who makes the most mistakes. It's the team who doesn't walk into the rink every moment knowing they have to win that's going to lose this one. And I look at this Wisconsin Rapids River Kings side. I'm going to pick them. I picked the River Kings, but I'm going to pick them with a caviar, like Lucas said. And that caviar is, there's something fishy in this matchup. It's the idea that this Blue Ox team has every ability to beat you, and you cannot take any inch of ice for granted. Every inch will be won in this trip to Wisconsin Rapids. The Blue Ox are going to go on the road. They're going to try to prove us wrong. They got their bulletin board material. They got us on the lunch pail right now, and they're ready to go to work. And is Wisconsin going to take this thing? Are they going to head to nationals, or is it going to be an upset city move for the Blue Ox yet again? And are they going to be taking that trip away from Wisconsin? Are they going to be stealing their plane tickets and heading on out to Chesapeake? We will see. Both of us pick Wisconsin. One last pick here before we get to a quick NCDC discussion before wrapping this show up. Lucas 2 versus 3, Minnesota Moose, Hudson Havoc, Brett Waugh. I've been talking to Scott Sturgeon on the phone, man. We are in on this Hudson Havoc team. We couldn't find room for him in the top 10 all season long. This Moose team has gone as high as 2 for us. And we look at it here, Lucas, this matchup. This Moose team is so deep. This Havoc team is so deep. Both times, these teams usually have the upper hand on their opponents by saying, hey, we're rolling 4 lines deep. We're rolling 3 deep pairs deep. We're rolling 2 netminders deep. They don't have it on each other. This is like a toss-up city here. What are we going with? Havoc, Moose, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing, I think, 2 of the most even teams that you could potentially find outside of the Mountain Division. Both teams finishing up the regular season with 75 points. Teams finishing within single digits of their goal differential. Both teams, phenomenal defense, great offense, absolutely overwhelming. I just think in the 3-game series, you have to look at the net minding. And I think that's the one spot where the Minnesota Moose have struggled, is to find consistency with the net minding. Now, they have given up more goals. Yes. Is it a lot of goals? No. The Moose, though, have had an overwhelming offense. It's an offense that will absolutely run you through the boards. It's physical. It's fast. And this Havoc team got a late start, but they made up for it. Dan, I think this is one of the most difficult picks I've ever had to make live on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like the Minnesota Moose are going to take this.
Wow, he goes chalk. What a big surprise. Mr. Upset. No wonder why he wins every pick.
And I think it's going to be very close. And I think this is one where if the Havoc pull this off, they have every right to make fun of me for being chalk on this one and not having the stones to go down and pick that 3 seed. But I just look at the physicality and the speed and the overwhelming downhill skating way this Moose team plays. And I just think in a short series, in a 3-game series in one weekend, they're going to win that first game. And whoever controls the first game controls the series.
I like it. I look at this Hudson Havoc team. I see Drake Barnish. I see Harvey Dove. I see Caleb Duzek. I see Mason Ford and Evan Mitchell, man. This team is built to win. They're young. They are a young squad. They had to replace a lot. Those big names are going to have to come up big. You talk about the net minding. Tristan Hadley had himself a weekend, some big stops. Kenny Torelli matched him. Neither of these teams are going to have an offensive output in the insane region. It's going to be low scoring in my mind. It's going to be physical. It's going to be defense. I look at the Vladimir Fadivs. I look at the Ike Frankels. I look at the Bergstroms. I look at the guys who can kind of create in those moments where the space isn't there to create. And the game I look at that helps me make the pick of the Minnesota Moose, and I go all chalk with Lucas. I don't know what I was making fun of him for. But the reason why I go with the Moose, we look back to the Metro Jets Moose matchup. Okay? A 2-1 Moose win at the Chicago Showcase. It was the ability to create where creation wasn't available. You know, there wasn't a canvas. It was painting outside the lines. It was just figuring it out in the moment. And that ability to shoot from the hip is something that plays a huge role in winning tight games in postseason hockey. I think the Moose get enough net minding. I think this is a 3-game series. I don't think any game has a team score over 3 goals unless the empty nets get crazy early in the last one. I say final scores of this one, 2-1 Havoc, 3-2 Moose, 3-0 Moose. That's the series. Final, finito, finished. Havoc, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. I talk about it all the time. We can say all we want on the Twitter sphere, on the Instagrams, on the interwebs before our series starts. We can complain, we can complain, we can complain. Or we can do the Michael Jordan watching his little iPad. And we can sit there and we say, you know what? I took that personally. And when we take it personally, we need to put it in action. We need to make it happen. We need to create. All right. Because guess what? Everybody wants to raise the cup. Everybody wants to raise the cup just as much as you do. You have to work harder for it. You can't just want it. You got to work for it. I can't wait to see it. Lucas, on the NCDC side of things, before we head on to the empty net, I mean, obviously crazy year, Hub City, Tampa, piecing it together. There's still a lot to figure out here in the way it's all going to play out as we get deeper into this thing. But it's going to be a fun first weekend. We start this weekend with the NCDC playoffs. I mean, what are you most excited to watch here in week 1?
Well, I'm really excited to see where some of these late season resurgent teams finally sort of step into the limelight here. You know, you're going to have some interesting matchups. I really think you're going to have some cool stuff going on here, Dan. This NCDC division certainly has changed quite a bit over the course of the season. You know, they got down to Hub City, Tampa. They were able to take advantage of that as well. And, you know, you look at some of the stuff that happened this year. You look at teams like the Hitmen and Rockets Hockey Club, 2 teams with bye weeks because of how dominant they were. You look at a team like South Shore that just added to its arsenal over the course.
How
of the
about
season.
South Shore versus IHC?
Incredible first round matchup.
Yeah, you look at South Shore IHC and you see a South Shore team that has built a champion this year in my mind, and an IHC team that Coach Kirkostas looked us dead in the eye and told us, do not give up on this squad. They're going to buy in, and when they do, it's going to be great. And I think this is buy-in moment. This is buy-in time. All right, who's going to buy in here? Is it going to be South Shore and the Kings being regal? Is it going to be IHC getting back to IHC ways? Mm-hmm. This is a Coach Kirk Costas that's coming off of a U16 title. All right, congratulations there to the Islanders Hockey Club. Will he raise the NCDC Dineen Cup? We'll have to watch to find out. A lot of hockey coming your way. You can watch it all on Hockey TV. Go to Hockey TV, hockeytv.com, and find your team. Just search them. Just literally put the team name in. It's easy. They got a whole search bar there, a search function. The greatest people in the biz. We thank Hockey TV for all they do, and we move to the Empty Net, where we talk to you, the hockey fan. Welcome to the Empty Net. Welcome to the Empty Net, our favorite portion of each show where we talk to you, the hockey fan, the Dan K Show fan. And this week we had the youth championships. We weren't invited out, but we got to kind of follow along on the interwebs and see what was going on via Instagram. And it looked like an awesome time. Congratulations to all the players out there. Congratulations to the U15 champs, the Jersey Hitmen. At the U16, Coach Kirk Costas and his Islanders Hockey Club. The U18, we saw the Maine Moose and Boston Junior Bruins raising titles. An incredible, incredible tournament and output from all those squads. Champions, baby. No one can ever take that banner away from you, and no one can take away all the happiness. I mean, this was only positive. Nobody had anything bad to say about Dan K, of course, and that's where we close the show out. It's 100% over.
Excuse me, could I just gonna jump in right here? Yeah, people lit you up.
Yeah,
I don't know if you really wanted to phrase it like that, because you took a little bit of a beating here, Dan, this past weekend. Some of the comments from our picks were Dan K sipping on that haterade. Certainly one of my favorites. The entire Charleston Colonial squad got a little bit on your case. I do like that you tried to save face by commenting on their premier championship.
Crushed.
And then Charleston Colonials, 50% is still failing, but nice recovery. Huge fan of that. And then just endless. The elite teams championship picture. I should say their winning picture. Every single player on that team just straight up tagged us in the picture. and you know what? That's the kind of stuff that we love. We love it. We do this for the players. And if we can get that energy, that vibe going, where it's not just competing against the teams on the ice, but competing against expectations. I don't know if there's a better feeling in the world than winning a championship trophy, but I think maybe a close 6th or 7th might be successfully chirping Dan K.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you this much. I'm going to be owning a team soon, and when I do, we're going to raise a cup, so keep me posted on that. Anybody who's interested, if you want Dan K on there, a little Derek Jeter style, let me know. We got some things. The wallet might not be as empty as I said. We do we do go, though, Lucas. I do got to say, what my favorite moment of the weekend was a Rush Premier team who I've picked all year long, who we went out and talked to those boys. And I'll tell you what, the most respectful way too, though, they FaceTimed me from the locker room after the Game 3 victory.
That was the best text I've ever gotten. Coach Crothers texted me and he said, "Need Dan K phone number, calling from locker room."
Oh, and I got that FaceTime, and it's Coach Crothers, and he turns to the entire locker room just staring at me quietly, and nobody said a word. I was waiting for him to say something. I had to talk. I went, "Well, I guess y'all made me look like an idiot," and the entire locker room went off. And that is the kind of stuff, man. That's what this is about. That's what we do this for. I know we have fun with we do these picks and the players get invested, they get fired up. And that's what we're trying to do, man. It's about these players. It's about you guys. Chirp the heck out of us, man. We don't pick you at nationals. We're going to have a studio set up on site 24/7 there throughout nationals, pre and post game shows to start and end each day of the national championships in Hampton Roads. Come on out, man. Be behind us on set. Chirp us when we're on the air. Let us know why you think we're wrong. You raise the cup, you want to dump a water jug on my head, you go ahead, ruin the suit. I'll let you frame it in the team's office after you raise that cup. This is about you guys. It's about the players. It's about the families that are fighting through the most crazy year and a half of hockey we've all fought through, and the work everyone's putting in to get these seasons in, the work the league office is putting in, the work the players are putting in, the parents, the organizations, to keep these players safe, healthy, and on the ice. Everybody deserves the opportunity to chirp Dan K. We should put me in a water thing, Lucas, at one of these showcases and just have people throw balls at it. We could probably make a mill off that.
That is an idea that we've been kicking around for 4 years now, the dunk tank?
Yeah. It's pretty cheap to get.
Shockingly cheap.
If anybody's got a water tank guy that we could get out the Hampton Roads and we could put one in front of the building, I will volunteer to sit in there if we can also put Lucas in as well.
I will warn you, Dan. I think I'm a little bit denser than you. We might have to get some of the water out there. Otherwise, it's going to be an overflow situation.
Hey, who cares, man? Let's go. I can't wait. Nationals is going to be incredible. Lucas, for this week's show, your parting words. You made a noise. I'll count it. When Dan K's on the mic, it's always hockey night. Elmira, New York. Friday, Saturday, if necessary, probably necessary on Sunday, 7, 7, and 4. Those are our 3 game times. Elmira, Philadelphia Hockey Club. If you're wondering why is Dan K not calling my playoff series, reach out to us early, man. You got to schedule us. For next year, our schedule is already filling up from all over the country, all over the hockey playing world. Events already filling the schedule in the Southeast, in the mountain, in the West, in the North, in collegiate play, in ACHA, everywhere you can think. Already filling up, so get on the books now for 2021-2022 season. Also, after that, we'll come back, we'll bubble up, we'll be safe, we'll be ready, and then we head down to Chesapeake, Virginia for the USPHL Nationals, March 18th through the 22nd. It's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be awesome, baby. We're going to ACC town. Oh, my Dickie V. I've been watching so much college basketball. Dickie V's calling games from his living room, baby. He's on the Gecko commercials. You're going to need Gecko. Okay, that's it. I've done enough. Lucas is going to quit the show if I keep doing Dick Vitale voices every week. When Dan K's on the mic, it's always hockey night. www.dankshow.com. Remastered Sleep. That's remasteredsleep.com. Get the rest of your life sleeping better. Get it going. Fight snoring with just a sip. It's the water bottle of your dreams. Remasteredsleep.com. Dan K Show 10 at checkout for 10% off your water bottle. EliteJRProfiles.com. Take your recruiting profile to the next level. At @the_Dan K Show. Follow us, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.